Welcome back, nerd friends, to episode 54 of the Nerd Chills podcast. This is Adam Diaz, and with me, as always, is CJ. Welcome back, CJ.
I'm happy to be back. It almost wasn't as always. I thought this was the week I was going to die.
We all thought that. Like, I had so many needles in your voodoo doll, and you still made it. So,
Yeah.
Congrats to you, my friend.
I'm still kicking.
We're very proud of you. Sitting in the third chair, yet again, as always, is Charlie. Welcome back, Charlie.
Hello.
Hello. Sitting in the fourth chair is no one, because Robin is taking a break this week. She reminded us she's not a full-time employee, and she doesn't have to put up with my shit.
Oh, really?
So, no, she was actually really nice. She's like, I don't think I'm going to be on this week. I was like, oh, okay. So I figured I'd just come on the air and say mean things about her.
It's like, it's my
Yeah, she doesn't listen anyway, so.
It's true. She always comes on. She's like, when did that happen? And I was like, you were on the episode when we read this news. So this week we're going to be talking about some bold predictions for the year of 2018 that we have steamrolled right into. But starting the episode off the way we always do, we'll start with Charlie, ladies first. What have you been playing, Charlie?
I've been playing Horizon.
Nice. You a lot further along now?
Gotten a lot further. I got past my struggles, and I started hunting a ton of animals so I can, like, increase. So I was talking to another person that's playing the game, and they told me about a bow that I could get, and I didn't realize, because I'm so used to just earning everything in games, that this game is built to buy things.
Right.
So I have, like, 8,000 metal shards, or whatever the hell the currency is. And this bow was like 600, and it's like way better than my other one.
So you could have bought this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. That's the worst thing
Yeah.
ever.
So I bought it, and things have gotten a lot better.
That's good.
I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I also bought Super Lucky's Tale.
No, you didn't mention that.
Yeah, it's really hard.
You played that at
good.
E3, right? Mm-hmm. Right on.
Yeah, I've been waiting, and it went on sale for like $9.50. So I was like,
Wow.
I'll buy it. And
It's a platformer, right?
It's a platformer, but it's pretty challenging, actually. Like, every level has different challenges. Like, you have to collect all of the letters that spell lucky, and you have to, like, get so much money, and you have to do certain things. It's pretty difficult. And I think there might be one other thing. Other than that, Animal Crossing. They just wrapped up their
Winter event or whatever.
New
Christmas.
Year's event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now they're doing another one already.
Wow.
So it's like event, and after event, it's nuts.
Nintendo wants to make sure that thing does well because it hasn't done that great so far.
Yeah.
So,
I don't see how they're making money.
I don't know. It's like I think they expect more people to buy those tickets than are willing to. So
I buy nothing, and I have a surplus of tickets. I have like 650 tickets.
That's hilarious.
That they've just given me.
You should find an addict and see if you can transfer tickets to them.
Although some days it like is very insulting. The sign-in bonus will be like a ticket. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Go fuck yourself, Nintendo. That's hilarious.
I'm trying to think if I played anything else. I don't think so. Nothing I can think of.
Still a lot for a week. So good job. Thumbs up to you. CJ, what have you been playing this week, bro? Besides the Please Don't Kill Me God game.
I really didn't get time to play much from when we last recorded, because right when we last recorded, I played a little bit of Call of Duty, played a little bit of Assassin's Creed, which has been really good, and then that following day, I woke up super sick, and since then, it's just been like, go to work, come home, go to bed, go to work, come home, go to bed, so I haven't been doing anything.
Right on. Yeah, I had that struggle myself. I called up Monday, Tuesday this week because I was just dying. And like Monday, I was like, I don't feel good. Nothing's staying in me, in my body. So I'm just going to lay here in bed. And honestly, when I finally made it to work on Wednesday, it felt so much like Monday because I had slept away so many hours from Monday and Tuesday. Then when Friday hit, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So
yeah, I mean, I guess I played a couple games on my phone, just stuff I've been playing. Clash Royale. I started playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links game because it's basically just Yu-Gi-Oh! But for your phone. And I was pretty good at that when I was a kid, and turns out I'm still pretty good at that, so it's been fun.
Nice.
Someone tried to tell me this week that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the best card game ever. I was like, I don't know, slow down.
That's not
true. I'll slap you in your stupid fucking face. Yeah, I would say Magic the Gathering on that. Yeah, plus, there's Magic so many new card games, it's fucking crazy. Like Gwent and Hearthstone and Elder Scrolls Legends and all this other crazy shit. Yeah.
The issue I have with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it's just so, like, whatever cards are in your hands, like, you could basically tell if you're going to win or lose the game from what you get in your opening 5 cards.
Yeah, that's something that used to happen in Magic when I used to play with tournament decks. Where it's like if you got a draw and you didn't have anything that you like wanted to combine with anything else, you're like, I lost. Unless I get like 3 lucky pulls from the deck, and if you had like 2 of the 3 that you needed, you're like, I'm gonna fucking win. Like this is a foregone conclusion. So yeah, I know that feeling.
I also played bingo yesterday.
Bingo.
Yes.
So you're 55 years old now.
It was one of my friend's birthdays. She wanted to go play bingo.
Right on.
And, yeah, it was like my second time. The guy that was running the little bingo booth was kind of making fun of me because I was like, so I want to buy this. And he was like, you mean that? And I was like, yes.
So I'd like to buy a vowel?
I'd like to buy a paper and a little stampy thing just so I can stamp things for an hour and not win any money. And they were like, yes, do it.
And they're like, we're going to make fun of you first before we take your money. For that. That's nice of them. Right on. As for myself, I didn't really play a ton because I was sick as fuck. I watched a lot of Twitch in the background while I slept, so I'd like wake up and see a stream had like stopped. I'm like, oh, let me put something else on while I sleep and waste more electricity. I've been playing, like, I haven't mentioned it over the last month and a half, but I've been playing a fuck ton of Clash Royale still. I haven't slowed down.
Jeez.
So I got to a certain amount of trophies, and then I was like, I don't want to drop down in different leagues. I want to stay in this league and farm good cards, because I went on this crazy winning streak with a shitty deck and wound up in a league way too high for myself, where, like, you're either level 8 or 9. And I was level 6. And it takes a long time to level up in that game. So I was like, I'll just sit here and collect cards. So now I have a ton of good cards, and I got pulled into a guild or clan or whatever they're called. And all I play is 2 versus 2s. Because you can't lose trophies, but you can gain cards and gold and crowns. Basically everything you want, with none of the risk of falling out of your league. So that's what I've been doing a lot. And like the last 3 weeks, they do this thing when you're in a clan called Clan Chest. Where depending on how much you win, like you can get... If you destroy one of their towers, you get 1 crown. 2 of their towers, 2. And their main tower, you can get 3 crowns. So it collects how many crowns you get as a clan total. And if you get to like a ridiculous amount, like 10,000 crowns for the week, or for like the weekend, it's only 3 days, you get a ton of good shit. Bless you.
Thank you.
And I've been first in the clan for most crowns collected 3 weeks in a row. And this week we're going to get to 10 out of 10 because there's like 10 different like tiers to unlock. And yeah, I've been playing a fuck ton of that game. So Robin says I'm addicted.
Sounds like it.
Like I'll wake up and then I'll check my phone. It's like, hey, you have a chest to open because everything's free.
You're like, I'll wait until work.
Right? So I go and I like in the morning getting ready, morning poop, like sitting there like, okay, 1 game, then get ready. Then I go to work. Then like 3 hours later, my new chest opens. But when I take like my lunch break, it's an hour. I only have 20 minutes of actual eating time, so the next 40 minutes just playing it. So aside from that, Robin's sister Liz came over. She had Friday the 13th with her, and we played that one night randomly for like 4 hours. And that was super fun because I wound up being the host, so I could pick the map, and I could avoid the maps that I fucking hate. And we got a really good group of people together, and we were just playing the shit out of the game. So I got to be Jason one time, and I managed to kill everyone. But the other times, I escaped almost every time but one. So I was having a blast with it. So aside from that, I haven't really played a lot. Like I picked up my Switch, and I thought about buying some extra stuff, and I was like, fuck it. And I just went back to sleep because I still wasn't feeling good.
I haven't turned on my Switch in like a month.
You're crazy.
I don't know. I don't want to buy like indie games or remakes. I don't know.
Yeah. There's some new stuff on the eShop. There's always a ton of stuff that's coming out, but I just don't like have anything in particular I'm like waiting for right now from Switch that like has a release date nearby. So I sometimes get on there and buy junk games for like $5.
Yeah, I don't know. I could sign in and do that. I just don't feel. Oh, you know what? I can't because I changed all my my stuff to Australian.
That's right. So that
currency
you can
and time zones and stuff.
Play Amazon.
Yeah.
Or Amazon. I'm so tired. You can play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. So that's what we've been playing this week. What I've been watching. Sadly enough, I put this on in the background a little bit. Well, Robin kind of did, and I was sick, so I was like, I guess I'm going to fucking watch it. And so we watched the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I like, but I have to talk shit because Robin put it on, so I'm like, this is the worst film franchise in the history of the fucking universe. And so I just criticized it for like the first movie. And she was like, you know when you do that, it really ruins stuff. I'm like, I'm sick. Take care of me. And I stopped being mean about it.
Love me.
Exactly. And after that, she put on Lucifer, the series that's on Fox, which is predictable fiction, and I make fun of it constantly, but now I'm just like, kind of want to see where it goes, since I've kind of like dabbled in a season and a half of 3 seasons. I backwards watch her. I'm watching something else, and I like look over. I'm like, wait, why did he kill that chick? What the fuck's going on? So I finally get to do that to Robin, which is really nice for me.
To her.
Like, you need to explain what's going on in the show you're desperately trying to pay attention to right now.
I feel like she would just do it though. Like, she wouldn't be annoyed. She would just like.
She was so happy that I was getting invested into it.
Yeah.
Like, we're recording right now, and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when you're recording. And she's like, I'm probably gonna watch Lucifer. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you have to wait for me now. Like, that's how it is now. So that's all I've been watching. I haven't really seen anything else on a television or computer screen, which sucks because Overwatch League started this week, and I told myself I was gonna watch like every match. But right on. Backwards order. CJ, what have you been watching this week, if anything, besides the back of your eyelids?
Well, I have watched every match of the Overwatch League, so suck it.
Jealous.
It was super awesome. It's all produced really well. There's not a lot of like dead air. They brought in some of like the best esports casters that I've ever known. Like anyone I could possibly like think in my head that I would say like I want that person to be talking while I'm watching one of my favorite games. They brought them in. They bought them from Riot. They bought them over from Call of Duty, Dota, just like everybody. So Blizzard definitely was like, okay, we have a lot of money. We're gonna make this work, and they've done a great job. The production's awesome. I'm glad that it's on Twitch because it was first announced that it was going to be on like MLG, but then it switched over to Twitch, which I was super happy about because MLG's site and apps are really crappy sometimes.
Twitch is just way more accessible for mainstream audiences. I feel like that's what they know of when they know of streaming, you know?
Yeah.
It's like YouTubers and Twitch. Like, normal people, I think, know about both of those things. I haven't been a normal person in a long time, so.
It does a lot better, that's for sure. And then I was able to watch my Patriots win last night, which I was super happy about, and I know a lot of people won't be.
Such a bad game. Titans are such a shitty team. I can't believe they made it that far in the playoffs.
It was the blowout. And then
it was a joke.
I was watching some of the Call of Duty tournament that's down in New Orleans right now, so that's pretty much it.
Right on. Charlie, what have you been watching this past week?
Well, I tried to watch Back to the Future. I got halfway through the first one, and then I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
It's so good, though. He tries to fuck his mom, kind of. It's so funny.
So it was like Leah Thompson in Old Face, and then Huey Lewis in the News.
Constant music from Huey Lewis in the News.
And then it's weird because I've been to Universal now, so like looking at him walking through town is like that's Universal,
right?
And it still looks like that. So I was like, that's fake. It all looks fake. But yeah, I don't know. I will try again.
Just finish
to at least make it through the first one.
See, the second one's really cool because it overlaps a bunch with the first one. So because like they realize they fucked shit up.
Huey Lewis in the News like overlaps.
But yeah, I don't know. I fucking love it. It's just because I was a kid when I watched it, so you go back and watch it, and you're like, oh my god, this movie's amazing.
Just imagine 5 overlapping tracks of Huey Lewis in the News. Power
that's
of Love.
Just heaven for me. I'm pretty sure that's the music that plays the pearly gates when you die. So,
but really, Adam just liked it because it showed his Cubs winning, which was never going to happen until recently.
It was like 2 years off, and the team was wrong, so they tried.
Other than that, I'm still watching Forensic Files, and I watched, what did I watch? Oh, Andy and I watched A Streetcar Named Desire.
Okay.
I've never seen it before. Yeah, she's been watching all these old movies, so we ended up watching it, and it was good. It was like, it's crazy how over dramatic all the acting is.
Right.
My favorite part was when like super ripped Marlon Brando comes in and starts talking about how sweaty he is from bowling. How bowling is such a intense workout.
It's such a fucking
I think that's pretty much all I watched. I can't think of anything else.
Right on. That's still a lot, so I don't know. I love every minute of Back to the Future. I love that series so much. Like, John Mulaney is a comedian, and he has a really good bit about like the pitch meeting for Back to the Future, where it's like, okay, so we have this kid who's friends with a disgraced nuclear physicist, and they're like, so why are they friends? He's like, well, you never really find out. So, like, the disgraced nuclear physicist makes a time machine, and they're going to use it, and the producers are like, to stop the Kennedy assassination. And he's like, oh no, like we feel kind of embarrassed to say now. Is like, well, what is he gonna use it for? He's like, he goes back in time and tries to fuck his mom. And like he just talks about all the stupid plot of Back to the Future, like if they did in a pitch meeting, how people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the entire time he does it, I'm like, I still really love that movie. So cool. This has been the Back to the Future section of Nerd Chills.
Woo.
Oh, there are a lot of unanswered questions. I thought I had respect for Michael J. Fox, and now I'm not so sure.
Oh, come on. It's so good. You didn't even hear him play Johnny Be Good, did you?
I just can't believe when they're like, he's in a rock band, and then it's Huey Lewis and the News. I'm like, that's not rock music.
I don't know. The beginning of the movie is like, he plays one chord and like blows up the house.
Yeah,
like, that's everything.
that like makes no sense.
Yeah. So, good stuff. I like it. We're going to move on into the big three and give you guys some updates on some news that happened this past week. So starting out with Microsoft, CJ, what do you got for us?
Let's see here. Microsoft actually kind of did some things this week, and so did some of the companies that make games for Microsoft. So the first one...
Microsoft?
Yeah, you forget about it because they don't really do much lately.
Yeah.
I thought they were just companies that push back games from Microsoft.
Right. Or get them canceled flat out.
Or get them canceled.
Scalebound.
Microsoft has this new Xbox career system. Hopefully that's not what they call it. It just kind of seems weird. So basically, while you're unlocking gamer score, the score then they're going to keep that, which is nice to know because a lot of people are way into that, including Robin and Adam.
Indeed.
So they're going to keep that system, but the points translate into a level, which the level unlocks avatar loot crates, which that's a lovely word to throw into your title there, Microsoft. The loot crates will have extra stuff for the avatars because they did announce that they're bringing avatars back with a whole new system as well. Avatars were a huge thing on the 360, not so much on the Xbox One, and now they're kind of bringing them back a little bit. So if you play long enough, get a lot of score, and basically go to career.xboxlive.com is what seems like the placeholder domain is that you can't go to yet. You can actually see what you're doing and when you can unlock all your stuff.
How do you guys like that new function of the Xbox where it, like, while you're idling, it shows you like how close you are to certain achievements in
really
recent
like
games?
And
it's
like it'll
cool.
show me my most recent game played and like the 3 achievements I'm most close to
Yeah.
getting. And it made me realize, I know the feature's been there for a while, that you can set up achievement tracker where it'll keep it on your screen kind of like Quest Tracker does in like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And let you know how close you are to things. And I'm like, that is so much more convenient than me constantly hitting the menu button and going and doing all
Trying
this
to
other
look at
stupid
it.
shit. So I actually really like the idle screen because there's so many times where I forget that I'm like, I have it on. And when the idle screen pops up, I'm like, oh shit, my Xbox is still on. So I know to turn it off. And then when I actually want to be doing stuff, and I'm like playing Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, and I forget that I was playing something, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to get back to it. I went to idle screen. But the stuff that pops up is cool because it'll tell me like, you have this many friends playing PUBG right now. And I'm like, huh, PUBG, I forgot I could play that. And then get really pissed off and quit. So I like it.
That's pretty neat.
I've enjoyed it. I like it for the social aspect because there's not a lot of times that I get to talk to some of my other friends on Xbox, so it'll just tell me kind of like what they're doing, what they've been playing, so I can just kind of keep up with them without actually having to talk to them sometimes.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of keeping up with my friends is not speaking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hashtag antisocial life.
And then we head over to the Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
They wish everyone a happy new year and let you know that they are back working hard after the holidays. So I wonder how long they took off. March 20th is their launch date, and they are sticking to it. But they are going to do a closed beta run that'll start on January 24th and end on January 29th, it's going to give people 5 days to play around and kind of just break into the game a little bit more. We'll see if they're going to send out more invites along with it. I would have to imagine they
have
will.
to send out more, yeah.
So we'll kind of see what happens. Hopefully, they send out a bunch more so they can stress test it. Because games like this, the only issue I have is when they launch it that first night, it
just doesn't work.
Generally pretty rough just because of the mass amount of people trying to play it.
I'm really excited, actually, because this last update that they put through on the alpha, I don't know how much I'm actually allowed to say. I'm just going to say it, and then they can like make me copyright strike this, and I'll just take this part out. But they give you the ability to have 1-player ships, 2-player ships, or 4-player ships. I've said it on the podcast before. So the last round that I actually did play, I was able to get on and just get a small boat by myself and just go and explore. And I'm like, this is so much fucking better than having to deal with 3 strangers.
Yeah.
And if I have friends to play with, it's going to be super fun to have a bigger boat. But having like a single-person skiff and I can just like sail around and go collect treasure and shit is really fun. And then you see like a bigger boat on the horizon. You're like, fuck, I need to get the hell out of here because they're going to sink me. And they do. Every fucking time. So I'm excited for closed beta and more importantly open beta, just like you said.
Yeah, and then cool thing, closed beta will not be covered by an NDA, so you can stream, create, share clips, all sorts of fun stuff.
That's smart for them.
Yeah, I will totally stream it to the Nerd Chills Twitch when they do it. So that'll be 2 weeks from now, I think.
Yep. Coming up pretty quick. And then we head over to the world of the ever-changing Xbox dashboard.
It's never going to stop changing.
Which they didn't actually mess with the interface this time, which I'm happy with. They just kind of added some extra things. So I don't know why they necessarily called it a dashboard update. But they added Do Not Disturb mode, which is nice because the original Do Not Disturb mode was appear offline and then forgetting
Everyone
to
could
reappear
tell.
online.
Because it's not like it was online so many hours ago. It's like just offline.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows you don't want to talk to them.
Except for your boss if they don't work at GameStop and you called out sick and you're playing video games. Which is what I did every time I called out sick, and it was really just a quote-unquote mental health day. So, I'm glad they have a better mode for it now where I can be like, oh yeah, I just left it in D&D last night, my bad.
Yep. So it also prompts it like doesn't mess with the shutdown options or anything, because sometimes I guess when you're in a pure offline mode and you shut your console down, it'll mess with some of the settings you have set. I don't know. I was just reading about that. So kind of weird. But then it also adds in I don't really know how to explain this. It's like a mini games hub. So you can almost go into a game and start looking for a group without leaving your game that you're in.
That's nice.
So that's one thing that's kind of frustrating on both consoles, because I have that same issue on PlayStation, is anytime I want to do something that doesn't involve my game, I feel like I have to leave my game unless it's like inviting somebody, which gets kind of annoying. So
unless it's something you can just do from the pop-up menu of hitting the home button, I always feel like if I need to change any setting where I actually have to bring up a menu, it's going to remove me from my game and then put me back into it afterwards. So
yeah,
I know what you mean.
So that's what they kind of did update-wise on the Xbox itself. PUBG finally got its third or fourth patch, I think.
It's hard to keep track of them.
And this patch now actually has given some better results for players, including better frame rate. So it's fixed issues where when you're looking at what is quote-unquote a detailed environment, you're going to have a lot better frame issues. And when you're also having to launch in, because you're loading that entire map when you launch, a lot of people are lagging off the start. So that should be fixed as well. They fixed a couple UI errors where like your guns would just randomly not appear on your screen and you wouldn't know how many bullets you had and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and they also tweaked one thing with weapon damage, so your damage is increased to vehicles, which is pretty helpful considering on PC destroying vehicles is really easy to do, and on Xbox I hear it was not very easy.
Yeah, I shot at a fucking Jeep that was trying to run me down on Xbox like continuously. I was like, why isn't this thing dying?
Jeeps are immortal.
Apparently. And then he drove it into a fucking rock anyway. So I was like, okay, luckily he was a moron.
And then probably the biggest, well, I guess not the biggest thing, fixing the game's the biggest, but the biggest feature that everyone was crying for, because consoles are more known for first-person shooters, is they added first-person view solo matchmaking to the queues now. So it used to all just be third-person. Now they're actually stepping into the first-person point of view, which is the most played version on PC, so I'm assuming it'll probably become the most played version on console as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine so.
Yep. It's just because, and I think first off, more people like first-person, but then there's also less, not necessarily cheating, but it's borderline, because with like third-person, you can be in a door to where no one can see you, but you can still be just staring outside over your own shoulder, seeing everything going on. So first person takes that away. It takes away that kind of like cheating or spying that you're doing.
Yeah, that's why I know most of the best players that play Battlefront or Battlefront 2 since Battlefront 1 came out always play in third person. It's because when you adjust the camera, you can see what's coming at you, like over hills, and so many of those fucking maps have really weird topography.
It's a lot more visually.
Yeah, as soon as I switched to third person, I was just like, this is weird, and by like the end of the first game, I'm like, I will never switch back to first person.
Like, I'm a god now.
Right, exactly. It's like, holy shit, now I understand.
Okay, so moving forward with a couple one last article. 343, so our lovely Halo overlords, have hinted that there will be no Halo 6 this year, which I don't think is a surprise.
Well, I mean, it breaks away from their 2-year cycle, like every 2 years. But I mean, obviously 5 wasn't what they wanted it to be.
Right.
Yes, and then I also read an interesting thing that it could be delayed due to the fact that they're trying to incorporate the HoloLens and VR into Halo as well.
I hope they don't do that, because I feel like if they do it, it'll be a gimmick, and it won't be. I'd just rather have a regular Halo-style first-person shooter experience.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. We'll see what it turns out to be, though.
They can't make it any worse, right? Yeah,
well, they could. I really believe they can. I just hope they don't.
But that's all I have in the world
We'll call it
of
Halo Lens.
Halo Lens.
Jesus.
Right on. So moving on from the Microsoft news, Charlie, do you have a smorgasbord of PlayStation news for us? I don't know what accent I was just doing. Well, I think it was Germanish.
I don't know. I thought
You're
you were
German,
good at
so
accents.
I figured
You changed
were gonna
about
scold me
It's
halfway
a
for it.
lot
through
more
Yeah.
Hitlery. I don't know.
Yeah, I shaved my mustache recently,
Yeah.
and I had a Hitler for a little
Mistake.
while. I shaved my mountain beard the day before I went to the fucking mountain because I'm
Wow.
an idiot. So I was up there, I was like, my chin is so cold right now.
Now you know how us ladies feel.
Yeah, it must be rough.
Most of us.
I was going to say most of you ladies. I know a few.
Okay, so Sony news. The first article I have is about Sony's sales numbers for this past holiday. They finally announced them. They announced that they sold 5.9 million PS4 units around the world this past holiday. It's a little bit less than they did in 2016, because they sold 6.2 million units back in 2016. I don't think that's that crazy, considering that I would assume that so many more people had it last year. Like,
The way I look at it is
people are getting it for the first time last year.
there's like a threshold that you're going to hit where you've like reached maximum amount market
Yeah.
share, and they've got to be approaching it because
You'd think.
PlayStation 2 and 3, I mean, especially with PlayStation 2 and everyone's like, it was the greatest selling console, blah, 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 blah. It was also one of the hardest failure rates of all time before
Yeah.
the Xbox 360 showed up.
They
and
don't
blew
break
everything.
a lot.
And PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, for that matter, I know the X has had more problems than the rest of them, have been fairly reliable systems with like failure rates below 10%, whereas like Xbox 360, the original models, were 66%, and the
crazy.
PS3s were like 40%, and everyone was like, oh, PS3 is so much better at a
Yeah.
40% failure rate. So they got to be coming close to that market share max, like the cap, a
Yeah.
lot faster than they assume, because don't think I've taken, like when I was working at GameStop, I can't remember defective PS4s coming back very
Very
often at all.
rarely, yeah.
So sooner or later they're going to hit that, and then maybe they'll translate that sales number over to VR.
They didn't separate their PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 4 Pro information, which I thought would have been interesting, but I think it's a smart thing for them not to separate it. Like Xbox, I would assume they probably won't separate theirs either, because it's
Right.
probably not that
Unless
remarkable.
unless they want to eventually say like, oh, and just so you know, for the last 3 months or whatever, like this many Xboxes that were sold were actually Scorpios or
Yeah.
Xbox One X's or whatever.
I would be really
Xbox-
interested to see, but I don't know that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they'll announce it unless it's like good news. So I don't know if they'll announce it.
What were you going to say, CJ?
Xbox actually sold more in December than Sony did. I was really surprised to hear that.
Wow.
Well, I would hope so. They were like dirt cheap.
That's
Yeah.
true. They were both dirt cheap though, not the
No.
One X, but
Well, no, I mean the PS4s for like a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time went down to $250. Xbox Ones were $189,
I thought
brand
the,
new.
I thought the PS4 went down to 200. But
Oh, it went
maybe that
down
was
to
just
200 for the week of Black Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then they sold them all, and then it had none.
Right on. That
It's
makes
like
sense.
it's still on sale, but good luck finding one.
But the Switch topped everything, of course.
Of course.
Fucking Switch.
So this brings PS4 up to 73.6 million units as of December 2017.
So many units sold.
Yeah. So they did say that they sold a lot more software than they did hardware, which makes sense if people already have the unit. year on year with they were sorry, sales were up year on year with 55.9 million games sold during the 2017 season, bringing total PS4 sales up to 645 million copies of
Jesus
games.
Christ.
That's just crazy.
We're in the wrong business, guys. We're in the podcast business. We need to be in the video game selling business, not making.
Yep.
In the term of end of the 2016 holiday season, they just sold 50 million, so it went up almost 10 million units of software.
Wow.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's substantial.
Their PlayStation Network subscriber numbers are up to 31.5 million, which is pretty crazy too. I would be interested to see also their digital sales numbers. They haven't really talked about it yet, but I can't. I mean, everyone buys more digital now, I think.
Yeah, well, those numbers are steadily climbing and replacing, I don't know, regular brick and mortar
Software.
store sales numbers. So
It happens. The next article I have is about the PS4. So Hori is making a PS4 controller that looks like the Xbox controller. And I was super excited because even though I've gotten
used to it.
a lot better with my PlayStation controller, I still like the offset
Xbox 360 /
thumbsticks.
Xbox One layout. Right.
Yeah. So it's Bluetooth. It looks like this.
Wow, it looks like if they had the most beautiful baby you've ever seen.
I know, it looks like a perfect mashup of the two
It
controllers.
really does.
Oh god, I gotta go see this. Now.
It's got a long tap pad or whatever they call that touchpad that's in the middle
Touchpad.
of it. The offset just like it,
What?
and then the buttons look just like Xbox 360 size, but they're PS4 orientation. So it's X circle.
It kind of
square,
looks like the
triangle.
Duke.
It does kind of look like the Duke. That was the first thing that came to my mind, which will be available
The Duke will
in
be
March.
available soon. $70. Holy
Fuck
shit.
that shit.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a glow in the dark Sea of
$70.
Thieves edition.
Yeah, for
Xbox
$5
One
more
controller
bucks.
than a fucking Duke. Ugh.
So the controller will not have the light bar, and it doesn't appear to have a headset jack or built-in speakers, but I'm kind
Oh,
of
so-
interested to see how that will affect the battery life because the light bar, I'm sure, drains the battery.
Right. It's very true.
But yeah, so you would have to trade in some functionality for the asymmetrical thumbsticks.
Right. The aesthetic that pleases your hands the most.
Right. But yeah, it's releasing in the UK on January 15th, and they've tried to ask them when it's going to be available in North America, but we don't know yet.
Right. It always happens in North America, which is weird. We have lots of people here that buy stuff.
It looks cool, though. I'm kind of excited. And with it being Bluetooth, I hope that there won't be much lag, because with the PS3 third-party controllers, I had one of those, but it had a USB adapter, and that made it noticeable lag in, like, precision-based games.
Right. I hate that little like stutter between like command and actual execution.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
it makes no difference. Sometimes it makes all
the
the
difference.
difference. And like, yeah, no, I can't imagine. I'd be so pissed. My last article, not really big news, but I just thought it was interesting. So after a huge push by fans, Sony has decided to give Gravity Rush 2 fans 6 more months before they shut down the server for Gravity Rush 2.
It's really cool that a community can come together and like prolong the life, like you're donating a kidney to a dying person rather than keeping it for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like I kind of want to sit down with Gravity Rush fans. I feel like if you know a Gravity Rush fan, you should sit down with them and be
It's
like,
like
look,
one really loud guy.
it's like we really need to talk. Like I really think you should move on. It's just better for you to move on. It's like this is gonna die sooner or later. It's better to move. Like jump into PUBG right now. PUBG's big. Like it's gonna be on PlayStation eventually. Stop playing Gravity Rush 2. Have some self-respect. God damn it.
So yeah, they were supposed to be set to shut them down on January 18th, and they decided to move it to July 18th, so literally 6 more months to say goodbye to Gravity Rush 2 servers. And there's not even multiplayer in this game. It's just sending challenges and hints to people. So that's kind of crazy to me, but
Yeah.
it made me think a lot about the world that we live in and all of these online based games that eventually, like, what happens when they decide to shut down the servers for Destiny
Right.
or Overwatch, or I mean, like, we saw it with Mag, right? Mag for PS3 was the first game that was like huge multiplayer online, and then they killed it. And
Right.
it was like, I don't know, it just
It
kind
took them
of
such a long time to kill it too. We
yeah.
had so many copies of that game for like a penny in every GameStop imaginable. So I'm shocked it took them as long as it did.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder about like the future of the servers of games that are so popular and all online based.
Right. Agreed.
Anyways, that's all my Sony news. What's happening in the Nintendo world?
The Nintendo world had a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah.
I would really quickly like to amend the what I've been watching portion of the show. I also watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. The movie sucks nuts.
I was going to say, you really should have just left that one behind.
I did that,
Yeah.
and then right after that, I gargled Broken Glass, and it was a more pleasant experience than watching Johnny Depp pretend to act for 2.5
Is that
hours.
the second one or the third one?
It's the fifth one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't remember the name of the first one.
I remember seeing the second one in theaters
Curse of
and
the
being
Black
like,
Pearl.
I'm
That is it.
done here.
It's Curse of the Black Pearl, then I don't know the name of the second one. I know the third one is At World's End, then On Stranger Tides is 4.
How do they keep getting Johnny Depp into
now we
this
gotta
stuff?
look it
He
up.
gets so much money, and his movies have been
And
tanking.
he's got to pay his ex-wife and
Yeah, from beating her so much. Apparently, Amber Heard had like one black eye one time, and then they were like, "No, that was Johnny Depp that did that." And I was like, "Okay, I'm done watching these fucking movies and this stupid drama on E." But
The second one is Dead Man's Chest.
Dead Man's Chest. That's
yeah, I
right.
saw that one in theaters. Unfortunately,
I think I've seen them
2 hours I can't get back.
all in theaters, but this fifth one. So I
Smart
watched
move.
it while I was sick, and I was like, "This probably is why I'm throwing up so much."
Was it on TV?
No, it was on Netflix.
Okay.
I was letting Robin DJ the Netflix a little bit,
Uh-oh.
so they put that up there. She tossed it on. And I was like, "What trash?"
I'm gonna buy you guys the trilogy.
She fell asleep with like 30 minutes left, so I explained to her how it ended, and then so she went back and watched it, and I got to watch her watch it. She's like, "What bullshit!" And she was just making fun of it the whole time, finding other things to hate about it that I didn't even find. So I was like, "This is why you're my favorite."
Did all the other stars stay in that? Like,
After
No.
3, Orlando Bloom and Keira
Keira
Knightley are
Knightley.
not. However, they're in it with cameo appearances.
is
for number
Jeffrey
5.
Rush still in there?
Jeffrey Rush is still in there.
Jeffrey Rush.
Javier
why?
Bardem is the bad guy of number 5, and I was like, he would have been really cool to have as a bad guy if his character wasn't, absolutely flat the entire fucking movie. And it's just, I don't know, it was super lame. And then there was a fan movie that was made called Voldemort: Origins of the Heir. It had a lot of production value. It's like 60 minutes. It's on YouTube. And Robin put it on last night, and we watched it. And I can say that it's kind of boring here and there. It would kind of be a fun thing because it's set like during Voldemort's rise to power, where he hasn't been killed yet. However, the post-production audio,
You mean before a baby rendered him like useless? For
Correct.
Two,
When he's-
with the power of love.
when he's still out there murdering bitches, before he got Huey Lewis in the news. Yes. So it was kind of cool, and it's like it's all fan made, so it's like nothing like is actually what happened. Like they didn't have any permissions to do it. It's just
Right.
like unofficial. But the post production audio is some of the worst post production audio I've ever heard. Like they're standing in front of a waterfall, and the waterfall sounds fine. The ambient background noise sounds fine, but their actual audio is terrible. And so at the end of it, it ran credits, and it was like, these are all the actors. And then like after all the actors, it was like revoicers. And it sounds like they had people come in that weren't the same people, because
Oh,
every
Lord.
character had a different name for revoicer. Because we were watching it, and we're like, this is like watching a 1980s Jackie Chan action flick. Where it's like, that is not, it doesn't sound like his voice, and the audio, like, it's word for word exactly what their lips are saying, but it just does not look at all like it's matching up properly. I was like, this post-production audio is fucking garbage. And then when the thing ended, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure they filmed this and then had to re-record every piece of, like, spoken audio with a different actor. Because re-recording audio happens all the time. That's what
Yeah.
post-production normally is. But, like, it was just fucking terrible, dude.
Wow.
So, watch that and let me know if you hated it as much as I did, because Misery Loves Company.
I'm just imagining them saying all of the copywritten Harry Potter things like in different ways.
I don't think they're even allowed to use the official robes and scarves and t-shirts and outfits, because they all look like knockoff, like everything looked like knockoff, like not official Harry Potter stuff. Because there's a few times where Robin was just like, they could have just gone to Universal and bought a fucking scarf.
It's like
I'm just like, I don't know if they were allowed to, since it's unofficial.
Walangardium. I'm just like imagining all the fake spells,
Right.
Like, that they have
Yeah,
to
I'm just-
change a little bit of them.
The entire plot was ludicrous too. It involved a truth serum. There was a truth potion that had a potion's, like a spell's name, just like steadily dripping into an IV, so this chick would tell the truth about what happened with Voldemort. It was bad, guys. So go check it out. But let's just jump back.
But at least they
into
tried.
the Nintendo news. I'm
Yes.
not going to edit that back to the part where I said what I've been
Anywho.
watching. So Nintendo had a direct, like we all said they were going to last week, and it took them forever to announce it, We all had like really high ambitions of what we wanted to see. Not everything we thought that would be announced was announced. However, there was quite a bit.
There were some surprises, I thought.
There definitely was, and I'm going to touch on just the high points of it. I'm not going to get too in depth. There was a game back in the day called The World Ends With You that had really high reviews. It was very hard to find.
Oh yeah.
It was on DS, right? And it's going to be coming to Nintendo Switch. It's going to be
that was really cool.
a remix, and so you guys can finally check that out if you never have. New battle Pokemon are going to be in Pokemon or Pokken Tournament DX, which is of course the one that's on Switch. Did they announce who they're going to be? I don't know either.
No, they didn't give anything yet.
New abilities for Kirby and his friends. It doesn't even specify what game that's going to be in specifically on the announcement. And this is, I'm on the official Nintendo recap page.
Oh my god.
The ultimate version of Hyrule Warriors, which was a game that came out on Wii U. Some of you guys know it. It's very Dynasty War. It's made by the guys who made Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, you're right. And 3DS.
I thought it was great for them to re-release it. I was just having this conversation with someone about it because of Fire Emblem Warriors.
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's just like Dynasty Warriors and Fire Emblem with all the Zelda characters. And they were like, oh, is it for Switch? I was like, nope.
And it's really fucking fun. And at some point you get to play as Ganon, and he just fucking murders people. So check that out. This one was announced, and I was actually really excited for this. Mario Tennis Aces. Which is going to be just a Mario Tennis game on the Switch.
Tennis is making a comeback. They're also making a new, Grand Slam or something?
Yeah, they are making a new, I think it's Grand Slam.
It's either Grand Slam or Virtua. Or
it's one of those
tennis
franchises that everyone like missed so dearly is coming back to. But that's a different game, not on the Switch.
Sorry.
Another one is Yeast, like Y, capital Y, small s. I believe it's pronounced Yeast.
Some people call it Yeast, some people call it YS. I don't know. It's weird.
Number 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. I think I nailed that. I know I didn't for a fact, actually, but
you know, I don't know much about those games, but I did play one on Vita for a little while, and it was fun. Like, it's just a fun kind of 2D RPG.
If you want to jump back into it, it's going to be on Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god.
Break out the balloons. Free update incoming for Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, if you're not done, with your 900 moons, it probably doesn't matter unless you just want to distract yourself from the...
Almost there. I think I have like 20 moons.
Yeah, you're right there.
I'm really close.
You're on the edge.
I'm going to need the free DLC.
Of glory. Face off in SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. So, it's tag team... side mounted. I don't know how you describe just normal like Street Fighter style fighter games, but it'll be SNK female heroes, so that's kind of cool.
No one will play it.
No. New character in Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It says you'll go bananas over this one, so most likely Donkey Kong.
I'm picturing the Donkey Kong version of the rabbits, because they have
that would be cool.
Yeah, like a big rabbit that's
the big white one,
Donkey Kong themed.
It says Payday 2 character premiering on Nintendo Switch. There's not a whole lot of information on that. And then this cool game is back and funkier than ever. I think it's Donkey Kong, whatever that...
Tropical Freeze.
Tropical Freeze, that's the one. And then the last thing that was announced, or the last thing that's on this recap that was announced is... it looks like Dark Souls is getting the remaster. It's coming to all the consoles, including Nintendo Switch. So if you want to, really hate yourself and hate a video game and die a whole bunch...
Take it on the go.
You can take it anywhere you want.
Smash your whole Switch.
Yep, you can smash your fucking Switch on the school bus on the way to school if you want to, kids.
Oh, God, I can only imagine.
I mean, it's been announced already, but they also showed stuff for Kirby, right? For Kirby Allies or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, I think that was what that Kirby announcement was. It didn't have, any details in it. But yeah, like we said, that Dark Souls was announced. It's going to be coming to Switch this May. I'm not sure if it's coming at the exact same time as everything else. But it's being developed for, like we said, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, everyone can get in on the remaster if you want. So that's cool. Not as exciting news, or more exciting, if you're a fan of Detective Pikachu, it's finally coming to the West, and it's getting its own amiibo.
It looks so cute.
Sweet.
So it's, pretty adorable. It's like Pikachu with a fucking Sherlock Holmes hat on. So if you're a huge collector, like some people still out there are.
If you're into dressing up your animals, you'll probably love this.
Yeah, so you're definitely going to want to go check this one out if you're still riding the whole amiibo wave.
I'm just excited it's coming to the West.
Me
I will
too.
totally play it.
You know how many freaking Hitler Pikachu memes I have seen because of this amiibo?
Because, his hand is, outstretched like he's waving.
Yeah.
While his other hand's at his side. I can't believe that people are turning it into Hitler. That's so fucking funny.
It says, when used with the game, the amiibo will allow players to check out all the Pika prompts, which are hints that help them find clues. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. That's a really good use of an amiibo because some of them have gotten really lame. So I'm glad to see that it's actually making sense.
And it's really big. It's like twice the size of the regular Pikachu amiibo.
It is huge. It's like a Goliath.
It's nuts. You can put him right in front of your door. Like, no,
right? He'll be your butler.
You shall not pass.
We've had that come up in our lives so much since we watched that stupid fucking movie. What were you saying, TJ?
So, call back to our Gravity Falls 2 person. The person who made Gravity Falls 1 and 2 is making Detective Pikachu.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Was it Gravity Falls or Gravity Rush?
Gravity Falls. What was the other one? Gravity Rush?
Yeah, Gravity Rush is the Vita game. Did I say Falls?
No, you said Rush. Gravity Falls, isn't that a TV show?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's what Robin and
Rush.
Robin and her sister are obsessed with.
Yes.
Gravity Falls.
Especially Robin's sister.
Yeah.
Which is Liz. Everyone knows who she is. She's been on the show.
Yeah.
So, cool. That's everything I have for Nintendo news. Not a whole lot, but that Nintendo Direct did contain quite a bit of news. So if any of those main things interest you, please let us know. And we'll see if we can, get excited with you. Because I'm excited for Pokemon on the Switch. And they didn't fucking announce it, so I was super disappointed. They announced a bunch of shit.
They're going to have to do another direct eventually. Like, a lot of people were calling this like a mini direct because they announced games that they said were coming in the spring and they didn't give a date.
Right.
Like Hyrule Warriors. So I feel like they're going to be doing another direct within a couple months.
It's like the Paris Game Show and then PlayStation Experience.
Yeah.
It's like same deal going on with Nintendo right now. So great.
Have to do it soon.
Great job, Nintendo. So this conference has been going on out here in lovely Las Vegas around us this entire time. I didn't go to it. I don't think Robin went to it. Charlie, did you go to it?
No, I don't ever have a lot of interest, quite honestly.
So this conference is called CES, which stands for something.
Commercial Electronics Show?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is that it?
Because a lot of things that get announced is usually like hardware, specifically like
Consumer
televisions.
Electronics Show. I'm dumb.
There you go. That makes even more sense.
Yeah.
Good call.
I knew the answer. It was in my brain.
Been a bunch of televisions that were announced, like NVIDIA announced a bunch of new gaming monitors, and I'm like, that's cool, but nothing that knocks my socks off.
I saw a lot of PC accessories. There was like a $200 mouse or mouse pad or something. I was like, what is happening?
Razer is making a mouse pad combination with their Black Mamba mouse, which is their most popular like pro gaming mouse.
Oh, cool.
And the charger is the mouse pad itself.
That's
It's
awesome.
the wireless charging technology. It's $200 for the mouse pad and the mouse itself. And that's my favorite mouse of all time. That's the mouse that I used to just destroy people with.
And you
in
don't have to worry
Battlefield
about
3.
your cat eating the cord.
Yeah, she still will. She'll find a way because the mouse pad probably plugs in.
Mouse pad.
And she'll eat the mouse pad cord.
Yeah, there was that, and then some monitors. I don't know. I saw a bunch of PC accessories that got announced.
The one thing I got super excited about is HTC announced not just wireless VR headsets. The new VR headset's going to be completely wireless, which is what everyone's been saying is the thing that pulls people out of VR is the encumbering setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only are they going to have wireless VR headsets coming out, they're going to have an adapter release for the VR headsets that are currently out that will make them wireless.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super fucking awesome. So if you already have a thing out there, you're going to have to pay a little bit more money, but then you don't have to worry about the ridiculous setup anymore. And it's the Vive is very well known to be the best VR headset on the market. So Oculus Rift, everyone liked it because it was the first one out, but everything that I see says you can get the Oculus Rift, or you can go a little bit higher and get the HTC Vive. It's more expensive. It's a bigger setup, but it has just better resolution, better everything.
I love the Vive. The Vive is so cool. If I had a fancy PC, I'd totally be all about it.
Right. I mean, I think Robin's PC could actually run it, so I've considered getting it for her every now and then, but I realized that I got her a $1,700 PC and that I got a bunch of discounts on, so I'm like, this thing screams. And she doesn't stream, and she plays Fallout Shelter on it. So what she really uses it for is her homework. So bless her heart, because she uses it for the things that she should be using it for.
There you go. Don't get her more bells and whistles to distract.
But yeah, HTC announced this wireless thing. I know Oculus is working on the same technology right now, and I think it's only a matter of time before I can play Sword Art Online eventually and actually have my body completely taken over.
I hope PlayStation gets that going. That would be awesome.
Yeah, wireless PSVR. I agree. So I downloaded 2 games. I am yet to play them. I wanted to play them before the show, but one of them is a zombie game. I've talked about it before.
Yeah, I want to play
show.
that game too. I haven't played it yet.
I finally bought it, downloaded it. You
It's
basically
in my cart.
make food and you give it to zombies so they don't eat you. And then the other one is it's an old one actually. I just forgot that it was actually on PlayStation VR, and it's a surgery simulator.
Nice.
So
Like
I
Trauma
really want to
Center.
play it. It's only it looks just like Trauma Center but a little bit more ridiculous, and it was only $10.
Nice.
So
VR games are not that expensive, which is crazy.
right, it's nice because sometimes you don't want to pay a whole lot of money just to have a hour to 2 hour experience that you could repeat
Yeah.
with friends. But if you're by yourself, you're like, I don't
You're
want to
not
spend
going to play
$60.
endlessly.
But anyways, moving on to more additional news. Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is Fighter Z, they announced the open beta roster that's going to be coming up very, very soon, January 14th, in fact. So I think that's tomorrow.
Or when these people hear
yes.
it today.
Oh, wow, yeah, it's today. So it would be
Yesterday.
Oh, no,
yesterday.
today's
for the people.
January 14th.
So open beta has begun, and these are the characters that you can play if you go and play it. Nappa, Vegeta, Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Cell, Android 18, Frieza, Beerus. Fucking love Beerus. I love all these people. Kid Buu, and Gohan as an adult, not Chao Gohan, which is awesome because I hate Chao Gohan.
I hate children.
That's true. I forget about that all the time. So, yeah, that's a fucking awesome roster for an open beta. I'm super excited. As soon as this show is over, in fact, I think I'm going to go try to download the beta. And while it's downloading, immediately go to sleep. So, super excited for that. If any of you guys are playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, let us know. Powering right through the additional news. This headline is a little bit wonky, but I decided I want to toss this in here because it does deal with kind of some of the stuff we've talked about in the past and more recently, too. The headline reads, this is from Polygon too, the headline reads, Twitch streamers find hope from communities during darkest moments. Because a few episodes ago, or maybe even last episode, we talked about the swatting incident. We've talked about Dr. Disrespect and all the things that can go wrong on live streams, the guy that beat up his girlfriend, all these terrible moments. But, you know, there's a reason that I think that people like Dr. Disrespect decided that they were going to come out and talk about something that they did seriously wrong on their show. And the article really dives into the idea of a person that has a fan base that sees everything they're doing publicly from a game. They can actually reach out to them, and it's a good counterpoint to the stuff we talked about, which is the darker side of streaming. Like the guy from Man vs. Game, like live streaming while he's having like a mental breakdown, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that sort of thing, knowing that you can put yourself out there to that many people. I think I like to just have the other side of the argument be spoken from us, since we did it last week, where it's like, I think it's really brave for people to go out there and do that. Like, yeah, Dr. Disrespect cheated on his wife, and then he talked to like 1 million people simultaneously and confessed it, which I don't think any person that's ever been an adulterer, aside from a politician, has ever really had to do.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of nice to read this article in particular, because it doesn't really dive into the Dr. Disrespect thing, just sometimes people need to feel like someone's there for them. And even though their life feels very lonely, because a lot of them play by themselves a lot of times for a large portion of their days, every day. It's just a really touching article to kind of read about how people that aren't actually physically there for you can have such an impact on your mental health. And I think that's what draws people to the idea of community on the internet.
I was gonna say, it's the beauty of the internet.
It is. It's the good side of things. And it's definitely something that I think I wanted to highlight, especially talking to our audience about it, because like we've had people reach out to us on Nerd Chills that we're like, oh my god, like it makes us feel special. Like people out there give a shit about what we're talking about. You know, some of us, like our moms. But realistically, like it feels really nice that, you know, people out there are there for each other. So it's just kind of the other side of that argument. So
It's good.
it's a good thing.
It's good stuff.
Moving away from the serious stuff, but getting more back into just sort of the numbers and data from the holiday season that just transpired. It's been the first time in 11 years that the Japanese console game market has grown.
Wow.
The last 11 years, it's slowly declined and declined and declined. And realistically, if something's on the downslide for that long, at some point it's going to tip back
Well,
up.
yeah, obviously.
But 2017 was the year it did. And, you know, obviously the big reason because of that is Switch. Switch has already sold more over there in 9 months than the Wii U sold in its entire life cycle. But it's just a big thing because not only did that go up, but the gaming hardware sales, like I think it's hardware or software, the software sales, the games themselves, those sales went up again too. And I think it's the first time in 7 years that that's happened.
I wonder if it's because, like, I think that we're getting to a point now, sadly, because it's only been like a year, where people are considering multi-Switch households, like,
Right.
where they've bought one, they see their kids playing it, or they see their family enjoying it, and they have to buy other ones so people can play Splatoon together and stuff
Right.
like that. So I think we're getting to a point where, especially because they are pretty affordable, people will start to buy multiple.
I don't know. I feel like that's hitting the nail right on the head because, like, I still think about getting Robin a Switch, even though she probably wouldn't want to play like most of the games
Yeah,
that
it's
I
like
want to
a
play.
DS.
But when we play Mario Kart, it'd be really cool if we didn't have to both sit at the same screen. If we could just sit next to each other and both have our own Switch to play on. And eventually, when Pokemon comes out, I'm almost guaranteed to have to buy her one because she's definitely gonna want it.
It's also like when
I
you
shouldn't
break
say
it
have
down.
to buy her one. That's so derogatory. She's definitely gonna need one,
Right.
and she's gonna buy it herself. Don't hurt me, please.
She's not listening. Get out of here.
Right? Who am
I was gonna say, yeah, and also when you look at the extra items, like, I mean, we talked about this before when the Switch came out. I think if you end up wanting to buy enough stuff for people to play with you, then a second set of Joy-Cons is $80. A second dock is $90. At that
Right.
point, you're 2/3 of the way to another Switch.
Just might as well do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a huge jump, too. Like, last year in 2016, I should say 2 years ago in 2016, hardware sales accounted for 117 billion yen. Obviously, yen conversion rate is like, I think, 100 yen or so to the dollar. It might be a little bit different. But last year, in the year of 2017, it jumped from 117 billion to 202 billion.
Jeez.
So it almost doubled. It wasn't just like, it went up to 118 or like a 2% increase. It was almost a 100% increase. So it's a huge turnaround, and it's something that I'm sure it's going to be talked about a lot in 2018 of like this big turnaround in the Japanese gaming market and this renaissance in Japanese gaming. And I'm really hoping because of that, we see more Japanese third parties that are going to become more and more dedicated to developing stuff for the Switch. Moving into some movie news. Something is happening that should have happened a long fucking time ago. Black Widow is finally getting her own standalone movie after making a movie for every B-rated ancillary character in the Marvel fucking universe. They're finally giving one to a character who appeared in Iron Man 2 that is a fan fucking favorite, and she's finally going to get her own movie, which is really funny because they released a trailer for a Jennifer Lawrence movie called Red Sparrow, I think. It's essentially about a character, right? Hunger Games 7? It's essentially about a character who sees a crime happen, and they decide that because she is a viable candidate for whatever program that they run, rather than like kill her to eliminate the fact that she saw this crime be committed because it was committed by like the government, that they're just going to recruit her into the program of like these assassins. So it shows her and a bunch of other females being trained to become like seductress, like deadly assassins. Basically,
Dark Angel.
yeah, Dark Angel. It's basically just like the program that the Black Widow assassin goes through, because the Black Widow is like a title,
Right.
and everyone's like, this is the Black Widow movie everyone's been hoping for. And then like 2 days later, because so many people were saying it,
Wow.
they announced it. And I feel like they had this in the works for a while, and they realized like we should probably announce that this is coming now, so people are like super fucking pumped for it because it's prevalent in everyone's minds.
That's cool.
But yeah, this is a long time coming, and it's obviously got the female lead of Scarlett Johansson, who's been a female lead in so many fucking movies. I don't know what took them so long to do this. Like, Wonder Woman came out and just fucking destroyed 2017.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not
now,
like she's already not. It's not like she's not already a leading actress.
yeah, it made Gal Gadot a prominent female leading actress, and Scarlett Johansson is one of the biggest, well-known like actresses in the world. So I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for on this one, but hey, they finally figured it out, so that's good.
Yeah.
We talked about this last episode, I'm pretty sure, about the swatting incident. I've referenced it already once this episode. The kid who decided to call and make a fake phone call to try and get a Twitch stream interrupted. Instead, it went to the wrong address and someone got killed. He has officially been charged with manslaughter.
When I say kid, how old was this person?
I say kid. He was, let me scroll through here. I know the victim was 28 years old. The guy who did it was 25. So I guess to me that's a kid because I'm 32, but still, he's a fucking adult who never should have done that. It is an involuntary manslaughter charge because obviously he didn't intend to get anyone killed, especially not the person who died.
Right.
But it carries with it a maximum sentence of 11 years, and it's a level 5 felony. So if you're ever thinking about doing that because you think it's funny, don't. And I'm really glad. I hope they throw the fucking book at him. I hope he's found guilty. And I hope it never happens again because he is responsible for it. And the fact that he took to his Twitter to have such a cavalier fucking attitude, I think, is a fucking just straight up admittance of guilt on this. So I don't know how the hell they're going to get around it. So he might have a creative lawyer, but we'll see.
It's really just going to be a negotiation for how much time.
Right. So the next two articles aren't ones that I dropped in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you handle those ones, Charlie, because I know this one is like your favorite thing in the whole wide world.
I know. I was so excited. So I threw an article in here for Handmaid's Tale. They officially announced the premiere date for season 2.
Is it weird that when you say Handmaid's Tale, all I think of is like... because that's kind of how it was described to us during episode 21.
That is how it was.
I guess it's fair.
Someone gave us feedback, actually. I think it was Dave. Was it Dave? I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone gave us feedback this past week about episode 21. They're like, I thought it was a really good episode. Because we mentioned how much people hated it because we were so fucking drunk. So that was very nice of you.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
So it's gonna kick off April 25th, and they're gonna drop 2 episodes on that day, and then every other one will be a week after that. It's every Wednesday.
Wow, cool.
They're gonna do 13 episodes, but I'm really, really excited.
Didn't she win for Best Leading Actress in a Drama?
I think she did. The show itself was up for like a ton of awards. But yeah, Elizabeth Moss won best a bunch of awards for best drama series, and then they were nominated for Emmys, Golden Globes, IGN's TV series of the year. So
Wow.
I'm really, really, really excited about it. If you haven't watched it yet, you should go and do it. Despite all the clapping, it's really, really good. But anyways, my next article. Oh yeah, so I don't know much about this, but I threw it in there because I thought it was worth talking about. We kind of talked about it earlier. Twitch buying the rights to the League of Legends.
Right.
Or oh my
Overwatch
god,
League.
Overwatch League.
Overwatch
Can't
League.
speak. So it is reported that Twitch paid $90 million to get broadcast exclusivity for the next 2 seasons.
Wow. That is so much fucking money.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that this just started, and despite the fact that it just started, people are paying $90 million for just exclusive rights to broadcast it.
It says they also stated that some of the $90 million may be for other agreements beyond just streaming rights. Twitch also announced that it would work with Activision to develop rewards and programs for fans. So that's kind of awesome.
That is really awesome, actually.
But yeah, I just thought it was worth talking about since you guys are all into it.
I'm really just excited to have a team that I root for and see how they develop and see the parity in the league. I want to know if the Korean teams are just going to absolutely crush everyone else, or if it's going to be something where like I can get excited to back an American team that will do well against a
And no brain injuries. No, just kidding.
right over a South Korean team. I'm missing all my brain injuries today. I was on Mount Charleston today. I'm recording podcasts today. I don't get to see any football. So I do think that's really awesome.
Oh, it's been good.
I just think it's crazy that like all the teams that don't normally do well in football are like in the playoffs.
Yeah, Jaguars won
Being
earlier
talked
today.
about.
Don't understand it, but hey, good for them.
It's like they all go all that way just to be beat by the Patriots.
Right, and that'll happen next week.
Yeah.
So
Woot, woot.
CJ did say that the Patriots wouldn't lose another game after week 1 because they lost to Kansas City in week 1. And they finished, I'm pretty sure, 12-14, or 12-4, or 13-3. I forget which.
13-3.
Okay, so you were wrong. I just want that out there.
Wrong.
I was wrong.
You're wrong.
But
You're wrong.
I don't care how many they lose if they win a Super Bowl.
That's true. That's the opposite attitude that they had when they went 16-0 and then lost in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So right on.
Cool.
I just want to get to some stuff. So we have an email address for you guys to email, nerdchills@nerdchills.net. Sometimes you guys do, sometimes you guys don't. And we had a couple emails that came in. They actually came in before we took our holiday break. I forgot to get to them last
Oh
episode.
man.
Yeah. So
You're
Lyndon
ignoring
actually,
our
our
2
fans.
emails.
Sorry about that, guys. Lyndon, fan of the show, friend of the show. He's been on the show in the past. He emailed us actually after we did the Video Game Awards recap episode, where we decided who won. We still haven't all punched Robin in the face, or whoever it was that didn't
I
get
think
enough.
it was me.
Was it you?
Probably.
We'll
Please
strike
don't punch
you
me.
directly after the show.
Okay.
But he said we didn't actually count right. So he went through and he listened to the episode where we all did our predictions and just wrote
Jeez.
them down.
Dedication.
And then actually checked it again. Well, basically, he did what we were supposed to do and
Right.
decided not to.
Yeah.
So the end results were as follows.
The fact checkers were off already for the holidays.
Right? They were sleeping. So he put himself down as he actually beat all of us with his predictions. But he didn't send those to us before, so I call bullshit.
Exactly. Prove
But
it.
Call bullshit.
Fourth place
Get
was
a
Charlie
lawyer.
with 7. Robin
I played to the heart, and that
You did.
didn't bode well.
came in 3rd with 8. And Robin said that like she predicted a bunch of shit.
You know.
Then she came
Yeah,
in like
'cause she was
second
in
place.
first.
I was in first. And so you were only 1 off from Robin. So the person who's the most full of shit on the show is Robin. CJ
I'll take
finished at 10 and I finished at 12. I'm pretty sure we said that CJ had 12, I had 14, and Robin had 13. So we were way off. And he put some details in here. I'm not going to go through everything because he has an Excel spreadsheet attached.
Holy shit.
But there was a lot of things that we were totally incorrect on what we said. And he also sent us a Skyrim VR 90-ish second review. So I'll go ahead and read that. And I appreciate you sending it. Sorry it took us so long to get to it.
Do you want me to start a timer? No.
That's okay.
He's like, I recorded it.
He put ish on the end of it.
Oh, okay.
I once told someone I was going to meet them at a bar at 9-ish. And I showed up at 9:59. And I was like, it's still fucking 9. So technically, it's 9-ish. And they were so pissed. And the truth is, I met them at like 10:45. And I was like, I'm only really like 46 minutes late because 9:59 was still 9-ish. And they're like, I fucking hate you so much. So I'll just jump into this 90-ish second review of Skyrim VR. And he says, let me start by saying that this is Skyrim, the full game in VR. So if you're not a fan of Skyrim or is sick of playing it, then VR probably won't change that. However, for those who love Skyrim, or might want to give it a second chance, or have somehow never played it but loves RPGs, this is my opinion for the best way. This is, in my opinion, the best way to play the core game. Which is surprising, because I haven't heard great things on it. That's me saying that. That's not him saying it in the thing. I'm going to get back to his thing now.
All right.
However, I'll address the negatives first. Any negatives Skyrim had before is still prevalent here. The glitches, the ugly characters, the same 3 voices for every character. The problems you might have with the game are still there. The gameplay with the controller is terrible. The controls are pretty bad, and I experienced a lot of drifting menus during using the controller, causing me to turn my head in weird ways just to see my inventory. The graphics are PS3 quality, not Morrowind bad, but it's PS3 Skyrim though. PS3 Skyrim through a screen door effect of the PSVR. Although I do not own one, the general consensus online... How did he play it if he doesn't own one? The general consensus online is it looks a lot better through PS4 Pro. Oh, he doesn't own the PS4 Pro. I'll finish the sentences before I start criticizing.
Fair.
I'm just so used to doing that.
I was going to say, Jesus.
Right? Fuck. So, lastly, audio isn't 3D, so it affects the immersion a bit. Despite all that, the game hits where it matters most, and it's a blast to play. I'd recommend playing it standing up with the Move controllers. Whoa, bro. Standing.
Calm down.
Skyrim, the whole length of it. I'm getting back into it.
Maybe,
Let me finish the sentence.
I was going to say, maybe the end of his sentence is like, with someone holding you in place.
Right. As by doing so, immerses you into the amazing world of Skyrim like nothing has been able to before. Okay, yeah, that's stupid. I'm not doing that. I appreciate your opinion, Lyndon. You're a great guy. But standing up for like 70 to 200 hours...
I think I would just get so dizzy. Like, I got dizzy playing it on my bed.
I got out of breath reading this. So. And that's not even done yet. Let me find
no one's going to write to us ever again. They're going to be like, they're so critical.
The controls with the Move control scheme I've played with, I'm used to. Take some getting used to, excuse me. But I would say with smooth movement on, it is the best control scheme I've played with in VR yet. From shooting arrows from your bow, like you would in real life, to handling 2 war axes and chopping down enemies, I've never had so much fun with combat in Skyrim. Sure, the glitches are there, but it was more hilarious to see someone walking in place or melting through their chair in VR than it ever was on a normal screen. Also, although the graphics aren't great, your brain forgets that once it notices the scale of the world. From standing on top of a mountain looking down to reactively dunking to a dragon above you. Ducking, I think is what he meant to say there.
Dragon above you.
Yep, there it is. There really is nothing quite like it. I've become so immersed that it almost feels like a new but familiar game. Plus, again, it's Skyrim, all of it, plus the DLC. That's hundreds of hours of VR gameplay, something no other game has to offer, and has been able to achieve so far. I'll end by saying if you love Skyrim, or if you love fantasy RPGs, or if you love VR or want a game that lasts more than a couple hours, 100% Skyrim VR is the game for you. Play it standing with Move controllers, don't be graphic snobs, and enjoy this amazing game in the best way possible by living it in VR. So cool. That was really nice of you to send that in, Lyndon. I'm sorry it took us so long to read it. Yeah. We did have a holiday break that we took because we desperately fucking needed it.
Just send it to somebody's email who cares, apparently.
I hate you.
It's
Charlie@nerdchills.net.
Or sacredinfinity@nerdchills.net.
Or Malum@nerdchills.net.
Get out of here.
So, fun stuff. He also put at the end of it, I hope everyone enjoyed my review, but it may be a little long. But I wanted to make sure both good and bad were represented. Keep up the great work at Nerd Chills. Bye.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's a little compliment. I saved it because I wanted you guys to keep that compliment for a week where we were all like tired and sick and stuff. Yeah. So, fun. That's everything that we have
That's
for
all
additional
email?
news. What's that?
That's the only email.
There was 2 from him. The recap of the Game Awards and then the 90-second
Oh,
review.
okay.
So that's everything for additional news. That's everything for reader mail. That's everything for everything except for the main topic. And the main topic is...
Bold predictions for 2018 in gaming.
That's right. That's why I have a notepad in front of me.
Or
that has
bold
words written
predictions
on
for
it.
gaming in 2018.
Exciting.
Or 2018. No, I don't know.
You can keep going all night. That's all the next segment is, actually. It's Charlie making up names for a main topic we're not going to do.
Good night.
All right. Good talking, everyone. Take a chill pill. Cool. So, yeah, we have some bold predictions for you for 2018 that we all have written down, I hope. Where do we want to start? We started with we started with you for bold prediction. I'm so tired. We started with you for the normal stuff, the opening show rigmarole bullshit.
Right.
And then we went to CJ and then me and then back again.
So it should be bros before hoes, since you
Sure.
said ladies first before.
Bros before hoes to start the main topic. CJ, do we want to do all of them all at once and just fire them out? Or do we want to do like one each? Like, we don't have a format for this really.
No.
So
We don't. Let's just go all of them at
let's
once.
go all in. And if you steal
Glad you
all
guys
mine,
are
then I
going.
don't have to talk.
Before me.
So I'll let you
Alright.
go after he goes. I'll go last. I don't mind that.
Last week.
CJ, what do you got for bold predictions for 2018? What do you think is going to happen
All right.
in this upcoming year?
So, since in 9 months since the Switch has been released, it's sold 10 million total systems.
Thingamajigs, exactly.
Thingamajigs. I'm going to
Easy
say that with a whole nother 12 months under its belt, it's going to pass the Wii's total lifetime sales, which was 102 million.
You think it's going to sell 92 million units in 12 months?
Sure, let's rock it.
You're insane. I don't even think they could produce
I was
that
going
many
to say, I don't think
units.
they're going to produce that many. That's the lifetime. That's over the lifetime of the PS4. Because
Yeah,
they
that would
just
be
passed
more.
73.
So
Hey,
What kind of
I'm going bold
what kind
here.
of brain trauma did you get this week?
he's been
None. That's doable.
very
I
sick.
believe in those Asian people.
right on.
Wow.
That's going to have to do really well in China because I think they've already sold one to everyone in Japan. So there's got to be a large population center somewhere over there.
All right.
Yeah.
What else you got?
There's got to be some untapped market somewhere. So my next one is that the Overwatch. I don't know what the exact streaming rights or whatever are for the Overwatch League, but considering it's not streaming, I think it by the end of the year it gets big enough because it's already freaking huge from the viewership it's had that it finds its way onto national television, whether it be through like TBS or ESPN or somebody picks it up.
There's a bold one, but I really like that prediction. ESPN is already giving daily updates on it. I don't know if they give updates actually live during SportsCenter or during a different show, but I don't have anything set to update from esports, and I get just like general updates on my ESPN app at the end of each Overwatch League day, letting me know what teams won and like how close it was and all that different shit. So
How annoying must that be for people who have no idea what's going on?
I was like, fuck this, get it off my screen. I think it's cool though because
Yeah.
I don't have anything set for esports. That means that general update might bring in a new audience to
Yeah.
ESPN. Because I mean, at some point, poker
Be like,
became
"What the
popular,
fuck is
and
this?"
I mean, same thing could happen for Overwatch like right away, especially with the production value as high as it is. So
It's true.
that's
Yeah.
not a crazy one. It's bold, so I like it. I'm on board with that shit.
And I was going to use this as my other bold prediction just to get it into the show because we have to do it every time. I was going to say Scalebound
I'm gonna cross
as
that
my
one off
joke
my
for my
list. then.
third.
It's right here.
But as my fourth, and this is probably even bolder than the Nintendo sales, Red Dead flops.
Wow, that's the boldest prediction I've. That's crazier to say than Switch selling 92 million units in 12 months. I think Red Dead has a better chance to sell 92 million units than to flop. But I don't know. Maybe you got something there.
Maybe it'll be terrible.
There is a crowd that plays Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto series that does not play Red
I
Dead.
think a lot of those people are going to be disappointed, honestly. I think that it's going to be a completely different style of game, and it probably won't translate directly, but I doubt it'll flop.
I am more excited to see the online mode for this than I was for Grand Theft Auto, though. Because I like the idea of, like, the period piece, the Western, than, like, just run around and just blow up cars. Because, like, the only thing I want to do in GTA Online...
You don't want to run around and blow up horses?
I just... That'd be fucking awesome. I just want to blow up someone's car. And if I play a game called Grand Theft Auto and I hurt someone's car online, they're like, we'll ban you. I'm like, are you fucking serious, Rockstar? Like, well, it's their personal car. Like, I cannot tell you how little fucks I give if I blow up something that someone bought. Because you know why? One, they get it right back. And two, I have to pay for them to get it right back. So that just, as soon as that shit started happening on GTA Online, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this game. So I want to see what Red Dead Online looks like. So you're fucking crazy. So you gave us 2 insanely bold predictions and 1 super solid prediction.
I feel like mine aren't going to
I'm
be
going
bold
big.
enough.
I don't know. I have some stupid shit on my list too, so we'll see. But we're gonna go with you first, Charlie. Bring the people down from the crazy high they're on right now.
Okay. So I'm just gonna write these. I'm just gonna say these in the order that I wrote them. Loot boxes will get out of control. I think that every game will incorporate them, or a lot of games will incorporate them, and then politicians will get involved, and it's just gonna become
2018 is the year it comes to a head.
a huge thing. Bigger than it has been, and every time a game has loot boxes, it's going to be the end of the freaking world.
It's scary to hear and sad to say, but you're probably right on that one. I saw a game recently that announced that there will not be loot boxes whatsoever in it, but I can't remember what it was.
Wasn't it, what's that new game from the...
CD Projekt Red?
No, was it CD? No, it was, that, not Cyberpunk, but,
Is it Anthem?
oh god, I can't think of it. It was at E3, that dude that you saw. The guy from the Gears franchise.
Cliff Bleszinski.
Yes,
Yeah,
his new
that might
game.
be it. I
Because
think
he was
that's
like,
it.
no bullshit.
Lawbreakers?
Yeah. He was like, no BS, just the game. I don't know. I didn't know I saw that announcement wherever it was. Anywho, while you're looking that up, while you're fact checking, my next bold prediction is tons of copycat games like Overwatch and PUBG. I bet that they will come out of the woodwork.
Everyone's going to be going for a Battleground style game.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's almost already started.
Writing's on the wall for that one. I think that one's 100% right too.
My next one is
Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World will not have loot boxes. That's what it was.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. My next one is Mini GameCube Classic.
Mini GameCube Classic.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest one you've had, and it's probably the best idea I've ever heard.
It's gonna happen.
It's like, you gotta get Nintendo 64 Classic.
And I bet
first.
it'll be crazier than the other shit because more people are into GameCube right now. Like, oh my
Right.
god, can you imagine? Like, right now you have to go online and spend like $30 to $50 if you want to get most of the best games for GameCube. If they put them all on one thing, it'd be like
People go fucking insane.
blood in the streets. No, I don't know.
There would be blood in the
So then what came after GameCube?
Wii.
Yeah.
So are we going to get a Wii
I
Classic?
don't
think if
know.
they get
This
to-
isn't 2019 bold predictions.
If they get to Wii, I think they should just get their fucking virtual console up already. So,
And they'll all plug in. They'll all form Voltron.
that's
You
hilarious.
build a robot out of
The
it
Voltron
and plug it
will
into Switch.
They'll eliminate humanity. Well, they're building the body with all these classics, and then Switch is going to be the brain, and then it'll eliminate every household
That
in
would be
America.
cool.
So that's how we get taken over, people. We figured it out.
This isn't a bold prediction because I think this is like a guarantee. Nintendo will make a new version of the 2DS or 3DS because that happens every 6 months.
The 2DS Classic.
No, it'd be like new 2DS SL. I don't know.
2DS SD.
There you go.
I like it.
My next one is that E3 will be open to the public again and that it will continue to have issues because industry folk won't want to deal with.
The public.
Yeah.
I think there should be fewer tickets. They did announce that it will be open again, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Half
that's
your
not
bold
bold
prediction
then.
is totally correct.
It's already happened.
The other
That's
half-
the easiest way to have.
Bold predictions is
correct.
to predict things that have been announced.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
My next one is I think that they will officially announce PSN name changes.
It'd be really nice for them to fucking do finally.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
would really like to adjust the spelling of my name because it's like got an H in there for some fucking reason. So
H is silent.
it's true.
My last one is that Smash Bros. And Pokemon will be announced for Switch.
Smash Bros. That's gotta happen. Both of those have to happen.
Yep.
So right on. Those
That's
are
what I
good
got.
ones. I like those ones. Nothing too crazy outlandish.
Nothing too
there.
bold, quite honestly.
I only did.
Oh, that's a slight to me, huh?
Right? Exactly.
You're just
Thumb in the eye.
bolder than I am.
Boulder as in crazy.
Like a rock.
Dude, you got to think
Bold.
if for my Switch one, if Pokemon gets released, you know all those people that freaking played Pokemon Go, buying a Switch, man.
Who's gonna
Free
invest-
app versus $300 in a console.
Plus the game. I don't know. We'll see. You
saying.
could be right. If you're right, I will eat a normal sandwich live on the air once.
How long?
Okay.
There's my bold prediction.
How long is it gonna take for them to bundle a game with the Switch? Like,
I'm shocked they haven't done it yet.
I'm not. Like, they don't have to do anything for you
That's
to buy one.
True. They don't need to give anyone a discount for fucking anything.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, you're just lucky you got the opportunity to pay them $300.
Right? Nintendo doesn't always like to let you give them money, which is bizarre because they want it so badly.
I think maybe by next holiday. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see.
Anyways, your predictions.
I only had 4. So my first one I think is a pretty solid prediction. My bold prediction for the year of 2018 is that the Nintendo online service will not show up at all for the entire year of 2018. They've already moved it from March to fall, and I think it's just going to fall straight into 2019. And I also think that the Virtual Console won't, not only will it not make an appearance in 2018, they won't even speak a fucking official word about it in 2018. So moving on from that, I predict on the good side of things for Nintendo that Nintendo won't just do a Nintendo Direct during E3. I think they actually show up at E3 and they announce Pokemon. And they have a normal, like, hey, kind of how they did it last year, but they have something live presence announced on the show floor, where they announce this is Pokemon, and it's going to be the game that everyone wants to fucking play. I don't think it'll come out this year, but I think it's announced at E3. And I think Microsoft will announce an official reboot of the Fable franchise. I don't know when. E3 would be the best time to do it, but I think that comes out this year because they desperately need it. And then my fourth one, which I almost crossed off, is that Scalebound will get picked up by a different developer and it'll get finished.
Woot, woot.
I don't think it'll get released this year, but I think they announced that it gets revived. And then I'll do a fucking backflip, and then I'll like just email Phil through Robin's account,
Right.
and be like, "Yo, bro, we have talked about Scalebound in every fucking episode of our show. Please come on as a guest." And or I'll just ask Robin to just say, "Hey, can you do me a favor, babe?" And then Phil will be like, "You got it, babe," and then he'll be on our show. So
I'll just be like kissy emojis.
Yeah.
right, kissy emojis, like I'll be right there. So it'll be like that meme where it's like, I need this and this and this, and it shows the person like running out the door.
And then before you know it, Phil ends up on Scary-ish.
I thought you were gonna say Phil ends up on Robin.
No.
So
I just love the idea of you being like, Robin, can you ask him? And then he comes on and it's Scary-ish, like
he
the
has
wrong podcast.
best ghost story he's ever fucking had. You've ever fucking
You're
heard
like,
in your
this
life.
fucking guy.
God damn it, new co-host. Yeah, those are my bold predictions for the year of 2018. So guys, if you have bold predictions, we want to know what yours are. So tweet at NerdChill. So let us know what the fuck they are, and you can use the hashtag boldpredictions2018. And that's not going to take up a bunch of your tweet anymore because Twitter goes up to 280 characters now. So don't be like, Adam, you're fucking crazy. So hashtag boldpredictions2018. We'll look up some of that stuff, and if you guys actually tweeted us, we'll read them on the air. Or you can email us. Email
You can try.
Charlie with an EY, CHARLEY at nerdchills.net, and she'd be more than happy to read your email since I fucked up. Okay, guys, I forgot it one goddamn week, and it's
the
been
only
54
time.
fucking episodes, and I forgot it one
Only
time.
email we've got. Well, maybe it's like the 5th email we've got.
We've gotten some. We've gotten several. We get a bunch of spam bullshit to the Nerd Chills thing, so sometimes a couple of them slip through the cracks, and I don't check the goddamn spam folder. I'm sorry. So that's on me. If you want to reach out to me personally, you can reach out to me at the Adam Diaz on the Twitters. You can also just message Nerd Chills on the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/NerdChillsPodcast. You can email me, Maylum, MAYLUM, at nerdchills.net. And I do also check the Nerd Chills email, so you can email that, nerdchills at nerdchills.net. CJ, if the fine folks wanted to find you, where could they do so?
Twitter is at Sacred Infinity. Oh, sorry. Then streaming is twitch.tv/Sacred Infinity. And then if you want to email me, because I'm way nicer than Adam, although hopefully I remember to check it, it's sacredinfinity at nerdchills.net.
Cool. Charlie, where can the fine folks stalk you?
Preferably nowhere.
Where can they find you if they want to be friendly and not stalky?
Okay. They can find me on Twitter at Charlie with an EY_NC as in Nerdchills, or you can email me, as Adam already said. We don't need to spell that one again.
Just Charlie at nerdchills.net.
Yeah.
It's .net, not .com, so that's all you really need to remember.
Don't forget to look up Robin's Kawaii Corner and
She does
Robin Grace on everything.
Yep, she does have some of her merch, so go check that out. It's really cool, and she makes these like little crochet. Is it crochet or is it knitting? It's crochet.
They're crochet.
She makes little crochet like characters and like rabbits and a bunch of
Yeah, I
different
saw
stuff.
her one that looks like a brain slug.
She figured out how to make Cthulhu, and they look fucking
Oh my
awesome.
God.
Go check out her shop if you're a fan of Cthulhu. I know there's a couple of you assholes out there that are fans of Cthulhu. And if you're really good friends with her, I'm sure she'll just send you a sample. I'm talking to you, Wade. So anyone else, you might have to pay for it, but I'm sure Wade gets a freebie. But aside from that, if you guys want to go check us out on patreon.com, we do have some tiers. We did update them recently so that things are a little bit different. You do get early access for the episodes by 24 hours, hopefully. So it'll go up on Sunday sometime during the day after I'm done editing it, and you get it like right away. And sometimes you'll get raw uncut version if we need to get it up there, so you can hear us just yell at each other and me saying, "Well, I got to take that out." So it's fun stuff. But go check it out. We do appreciate every dime that you guys send to us. So it's very, very helpful to keep the show going and move us towards bigger and better things. So share us with a friend, guys. The new year did start, so we want to get this thing, keep this thing rolling. December was the biggest month we've had by far, which was fucking awesome because in November we went way above our goal for the month total for downloads. And then December, we fucking shattered those numbers just out of the blue. We didn't think it would happen.
That was crazy, too, because we were on break, so we came back from break like, what happened?
Yeah, we were shocked with the amount of support we got, and we're just hoping 2018 just continues to grow and grow and grow. So we appreciate all of you out there. Thank you so much for listening. This was episode 54 of the Nerd Chills podcast. And CJ, why don't you go ahead and sign us out?
All right. So thanks for listening, everyone. Take a chill pill, and we will see you next week.
See you.